Hello everyone and welcome back to STW Sports, and today I'm going to be going over the Premier League flop team of the season 2019-2020. But first things first, Arsenal are FA Cup champions after yesterday. Well deserved on the day in the end, I thought. I was really fearing the worst after Christian Pulisic give Chelsea an early lead. I was thinking, oh no, here we go, Europa League final all over again. But no, Arsenal turned it round, showed very good spirit. And in the end, two from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang got Arsenal the victory. Yeah, I mean, first half was very entertaining. Second half, not really as much. But as an Arsenal fan, I don't care about that. We've won the FA Cup, and I'm not going to say it's been a great season for Arsenal because it certainly hasn't been. 8th place finish in the Premier League, our worst finish for 25 years. However, you've got to say it's to end with a trophy is something. 4 FA Cups now in the last 6 years. You know, it is the FA Cup. It's not the biggest trophy out of a lot of them, but it's still something to go off. And Mikel Arteta getting a trophy, and he only took over just before Christmas as well. So to get an early trophy under his belt already is very good. And hopefully next season Arsenal can really kick on. But yeah, so in the end, very happy about that. But enough of that. Let's get back into the Premier League flop team of the season. Going for a 4-3-1-2 formation. Bit of a weird one today. I didn't really want to play wingers, going to go directly through the middle when it comes to the attackers. Goalkeeper, Kepa Arrizabalaga. Yeah, there's some candidates for this one. David De Gea is right up there, and as to is Roberto from West Ham. The reason I'm going to go with Kepa, though, is because, of course, he's been at Chelsea 2 seasons now, signed for £70 million, the goalkeeper, and he just hasn't been good enough for Chelsea, and this season's been evident of that. Dropped in February before the pandemic due to Willy Caballero, and yeah, Kepa just hasn't been good enough this season. I mean, his save rate isn't good enough, and there's just, Chelsea could do with a better goalkeeper going forward, and to spend 70 million on him as well, it's very disappointing. And yeah, this has been another disappointing season for him, unfortunately. I think Chelsea need to look for a new goalkeeper in the transfer market. Right back, João Cancelo. Yeah, it's not been great for João Cancelo. 60 million Man City signed him for, and he's only made 17 Premier League appearances and not done much of note. In fact, he's played left-back most of them appearances as well. Unfortunately, it's been a poor season for João Cancelo, really. 60 million, you'd have really expected him to challenge Kyle Walker a bit more. He hasn't done that, and unfortunately, it's not been great for him. So yeah, I'm going to go with Cancelo. I'm not saying he's been terrible when he's played, but for the price tag, 60 million to be a bench player the majority of the season, it's been, not been great for him overall. Centre-back, Socrates. Yeah, I feel like I need to put an Arsenal centre-back in there, and many of you are probably thinking, oh, why not David Luiz? But to be fair to David Luiz, he has had a couple of games this season when he has been really good. I'm not saying Luiz has had a good season, but as well, to be fair to him, since the Man City horror show that he had on the first game back, he has done all right. He's done a bit better than so. I think Luiz has got something about him which I can see what Arsenal might like, maybe a bit more of a winning mentality, as much as he can be a liability at times. But yeah, Socrates this season's been really poor for Arsenal, I think, and I feel like I kind of have to put an Arsenal defender in there just due to the fact they have had such a poor season at the back. And yeah, Socrates has been the one for me. It's been a bit of a drop-off from his first season at the club where he wasn't great, but he was certainly better than he has been this season. But yeah, there's been a poor season for Socrates, and again, I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal sold him in the summer. But yeah, so that's centre-back. Other centre-back, Nicolas Otamendi. Yeah, another poor season for Nicolas Otamendi. He had one good season at Man City when they were Centurions, but Otamendi's always been a bit of a liability, and this season was no different, really. It was a poor season for him, really. Man City's defence this season hasn't been great, and he's a second Man City defender to appear in this flop team of the season. And yeah, Otamendi just, at the back, he just looks very, very rash, and, he's just not reliable. Man City need better defenders going forward, no doubt about that. But yeah, another not-so-good season for Otamendi, in my opinion. Left-back, Benjamin Mendy. Yeah, Man City make up 3 of the 4. I feel a bit harsh with this one, really. I don't think Mendy's been terrible, but I look at the games that he's made errors in, like Wolves away, Chelsea away. Big games, really, where Mendy has made really poor schoolboy errors. And I think Mendy, to be fair, hasn't been too bad since the restart. He's looked a bit promising, but for what they paid from, obviously, unfortunately, injuries have ruined Benjamin Mendy's Man City career so far. He needs a regular run of games without getting injured, but this season wasn't a good one for him, really, where even when he played, he made a lot of poor errors, and you know, you'd expect better from Mendy really going forward. But yeah, I've got to put him in. I feel a bit harsh giving this, but I couldn't think of anyone who'd really been worse than Mendy overall. But yeah, this is 3 of the Man City back 4 makeup. This is why they were so far off Liverpool this season. Defensively, they weren't good enough, and this, you know, this list just proves it so far. Centre defensive midfield, Danny Drinkwater. Yeah, I don't really need to explain this one too much. We all know why this is the case. And yeah, Danny Drinkwater, of course, a Premier League winner back in 2016 with Leicester. Got a good story behind him, but yeah, that story's kind of going very downhill now. This was a terrible season for Danny Drinkwater, in fact. Yeah, I mean, of course, he's signed for Aston Villa in January and did nothing of note, really, other than being a team that lost 6-1 to Man City. It's been a terrible season. And Drinkwater, yeah, he's not played a lot by any means, but yeah, it's not been great for him, to be honest with you. I have to put him in there. I feel like it's been poor. Tanguy it's on the centre midfielder, sorry, Tanguy Ndombele. Yeah, 58 million signing for Tottenham in centre midfield. Had a promising debut, scored against Aston Villa, and from there you're thinking, oh, this guy could be really good and he could move Tottenham on, but hasn't been the case unfortunately for him. He's been a poor signing for Spurs, and Spurs fans will tell you this is not what they expected from him. When he arrived with quite a bit of hype. Tottenham who got to a Champions League final last season, but no, Ndombele has not lived up to that price tag at all. And there's rumours he could even be off this summer, which would be a disaster for Spurs. Spurs don't splash the cash all that much, so when they do, it's important they get it right, and unfortunately they haven't on this occasion. You know, 21 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. The stats aren't good enough, unfortunately. And yeah, it's not great for Tottenham. It's a signing that I thought would be very good, but that hasn't been the case this season. Other centre midfielder, Jesse Lingard. Yeah, don't really need to say a lot about this one either, just like Danny Drinkwater. You know, 1 goal, and that was right at the end of the season, thanks to a howler from Kasper Schmeichel. 1 goal in 22 games. Don't really need to say much more. And I could have put Andres Pereira in this as well, but yeah, Lingard's probably got to leave in the summer. And Lingard's like 27 years old now. He's, as much as the memes go around, he's not young anymore. But well, he's young, not for a footballer anymore, and yeah, he's got to go in the summer. Lingard, I think, it's been a bad season even when he's played for him. To think he was scoring goals for us at a World Cup, England at a World Cup just 2 years ago. He looks an absolute shadow of a player now. I know he's had a few issues in his personal life, to be fair to him, but still, yeah, his performance on the pitches haven't been good enough, to be fair. So yeah, Lingard, this has been a bad season for him. He's in my flop team of the season also. Supporting striker Moise Kean. Yeah, Moise Kean has had a very bad season at Everton, let's be honest. 29 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. He arrived with a lot of hype, Moise Kean. This was his chance at Everton to break through, become a really good player. Good club for him to go to as well. He hasn't delivered that, unfortunately. It's been a poor season for Moise Kean. He hasn't looked. Scored the goal at the end of the season against Bournemouth, of course, but there's not been much promise from him at all. I mean, I don't really see what he's really been good at. Of course, he got subbed on and subbed off earlier on in the season as well under Duncan Ferguson, which wouldn't have done his confidence any good. But no, this hasn't been a good season. He's still young, though. He does have time. Moise Kean to get better. But this first season at Everton's been a poor one, unfortunately. He's got to be in the flop team of the season. Striker Joe Linton. Yeah, this one was definitely coming all along. £40 million for Newcastle United. 40 million. And he has been absolutely terrible. 2 goals this season. 2 goals, 2 assists. Again, another player with that. And he's played 38 Premier League games. Every single Premier League game this season he's appeared in. Yeah, 2 goals and 2 assists. It's for 40 million, an awful, awful signing. Newcastle fans deserve better. And of course, now the news of their takeover not going through as well. It's a damaging blow for them. Hopefully Newcastle get their rewards soon. Newcastle are a good club. They've got good fans. Hopefully they get a reward soon after all they've been through in the last few years. But yeah, poor season for Joe Linton. I mean, arrived 40 million to expect. I mean, his goal record in Germany wasn't great, but this season he's just looked very below par. They certainly need a better striker than this Newcastle to kick on. They've actually done better than what I thought they would this season, Newcastle. But yeah, Joe Linton has been poor, unfortunately. Yep, he's got to appear in the flop team of the season as well. Other striker, Dominic Solanke. Yeah, it's been a poor season for Dominic Solanke. Bournemouth are relegated, and I mean, I don't know how Liverpool sold Dominic Solanke for 20 million, honestly. I mean, I don't see what he does. It's unfortunate to say this. I don't want to slate the guy too much, but I just don't see what he's really good at. 3 goals in 32 games, a big reason why Bournemouth are getting relegated, unfortunately. Not just him, to be fair. Callum Wilson and Josh King haven't performed this season, but Dominic Solanke has been poor. So again, I've got to put him in my team of the season. So yeah, that's my 11. And manager, I'm going to go with Marco Silva. Difficult one for manager, really. Unai Emery's up there for Arsenal. He of course, was sacked by November after a poor season. Of course, Mauricio Pochettino had a poor start with Tottenham as well. I'm going to go with Marco Silva. Everton were in the relegation zone in December when he got sacked. And for me, that's completely unacceptable for a club like Everton to be in the relegation zone in December. That, for me, sums it up. That's why he was sacked. And, his second season at the club, he wasn't good enough. And, yeah, that's the reason for me why he's my flop manager. I could have chose a few people, a couple of managers, really, but going to go with Marco Silva overall. I think it was a bad one for him. He didn't last the whole season, only till December, but yeah, I think it wasn't good enough from him, especially to have a club like Everton in the relegation zone by December, as I said. But yeah, so that's my list. If you change anything, please let me know in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Still trying to get the channel more and more views if I can. But yeah, thank you for watching anyway, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you.